Hi, I'm David. Today I'm going to show you a three-part video on how to make a delicious homemade chicken noodle soup. This is part one, and in part one we're going to show you how to cut up the chicken, and I'm going to show you the ingredients that go into the homemade chicken noodle soup. These are the ingredients I use for homemade chicken noodle soup. Just about all of this was bought at Trader Joe's. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so things here are a little bit more expensive. But I like to get the organic brined whole chicken. It's a little expensive, but it's actually a cheap organic chicken for Bay Area prices. The Trader Joe's Mirepoix makes an easy job of making the stock, and then also the chicken noodle soup itself. I like to use the egg pasta. You can use any different type of egg pasta, but this is one that's readily available at Trader Joe's. Thyme, bay leaves, parsley, and of course salt. Okay, now we're at the point where we carve up the chicken. First thing you want to do is have the backbone side down, and what you're going to do is take off the leg and the thigh. And you can see exactly where you want to cut there. It's pretty easy to notice where it wants to cut. So you just want to get that skin open so that you can really see inside there. And the chicken pretty much tells you where you want to cut it. It's pretty straightforward there. So you get all that skin out so you can have a nice view. I take it all the way around. And I take it to the bone. And once you get to the bone, you just pop it out and keep on cutting right through that bone piece. There, you've got your leg and your thigh. Do the same thing on the other side. Just find that magic spot on the skin. You want to leave the breast intact. Just cut it till you get to the bone. Get to the bone, pop it out, and cut right through that spot and straight back down. Next, we want to separate the thigh from the leg, and sometimes you have to pull the skin up a little bit there to see it, but the chicken tells us where to cut it. You can see that fat line right there in between the leg and the thigh, and that's exactly where you want to cut it. And what that will do, it'll make your job a little bit easier. And you can see that's exactly how it goes. Same thing with the other side. Find that fat line. Cut right along the fat line. Yeah, I think I hit that one a little bit better. Alright, so now you've got your thighs and your legs. The next thing to do is to pull out the wings. And for this, you can't see the fat line, but you can feel the joint, and that's exactly where you want to cut it. So you feel the joint, and then you aim the knife right for that joint. Sometimes you have to kind of twist around, get on different sides. There, you can see that joint there, and then just cut it right out. And the same for the other one. I like to first kind of push my thumb in there and go for that joint. Okay, good. So the next thing we want to do is get the backbone out. Next step is to take the breasts away from the back. And again, here the chicken tells us where to cut. For this, I'll use the kitchen shears and just cut right along that line. Take you right up to the neck. Same on the other side. And you could cut here, but you don't really want all of that stringy type of meat there. So it's better just to cut along that fat line. And now we've got our back, and what I'll do for the back is I'll I'll cut that up along with some of these other pieces for our stock. Okay, next we just have to separate the breast into two halves, and a good way to do this is to get out the bone from in between. You can see there is some cartilage there before the bone, so you cut through the cartilage to get to the bone, and there you can see the bone. And actually, the bone is pretty easy just to take out on its own. So it looks like my thumb missed that. Sometimes you need a little extra help. And there the bone and cartilage, mostly the bone there, can slip out. Sometimes I'm able to get the whole thing. And now you can just cut straight down that line, and this will make it a little bit easier to get the remaining cartilage out. In this case, the chicken is clinging onto it, but that's okay. Alright, so now we've got two pieces of chicken breast. Okay, so that concludes part one, how to cut up a chicken. And now, the next part, we are going to move into how to make chicken stock.